Good morning and welcome to the Treehouse. This is Kag with the View from Above tarot reading for February 1st, which is Imbolc. Imbolc is springtime in the Celtic or Wiccan seasons, and I will put in a link here for you to listen to my explanation of the difference between Western seasons and Celtic or Wiccan seasons. But this is the beginning of spring. We are now through Samhain, which goes from November 1st until January 31st and Imbolc is from February 1st until April 30th. So this is early spring. And in the Celtic world, just briefly, the equinoxes and the solstices happen at the midpoint of the Celtic or the Wiccan seasons, not the beginning. And that's the main difference between Western and Celtic. So we are going to do a sort of a riff on the reflection spread to talk about what has transpired as we move from winter, which is a season of rest and recovery, into spring, which is the season of rebirth and initiation, energy, and the return of warmth. So we're going to begin with a card about where we find ourselves on this morning of Imbolc. And where we are is the Page of Cups, which is a surprise. This is a communication that comes in that is not what we expected at all. And so look for some kind of a surprise in your world today or in the next couple of days as we move forward. And that is what spring is all about. I think that that's kind of a funny name for the season, spring, because that is about something jumping out and surprising you. So look for some surprises as we enter into this season. So what it is that we have uncovered through the past has been some kind of joyful experience. And whether this is with other people or something that we've done on our own, this winter has really filled us with positive emotions about being with other people or with doing something that we really truly enjoyed. And what a gift that is to have found something new to do or something new to share it with. So what is growing beneath the soil? And in the springtime, as things start to come up through the earth, even though we can't see them right now, there is a stirring in the earth underneath. So the little seeds are starting to reach out a little bit. And if you live in the more southern part of the United States, you'll begin to see crocuses and snowdrops and other little stirrings of vegetation coming up. And so what is underneath the soil for each of us is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the divine timing. This can be a card of luck, but it is a movement forward, which is pretty accurate, a metaphor for spring. So something that has been sort of beneath the soil for us during the months of Samhain is now starting to turn into a very positive direction. So what is in the past? What wisdom can we use as we move into Imbolc? And that is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a full place. And you can see we've got all these cups here. This is a full place. You have resources, you have inspiration, you have emotion, and you have wisdom, mental wisdom, that is, and spirit. And so you're coming to this turn into Imbolc from a very full place, which is a really great thing to have moving forward. So this rest has probably been quite beneficial for you, for me, as we move into this new season. So what is it that we want to focus on as we move into spring or into Imbolc? And that is the Page of Swords. So now we've got two pages here, which is another communication, but this one has to do with some clarity and some truth. And so maybe the direction that you want to go is becoming quite apparent to you. This is a conglomeration of what is full from our emotional perspective and all of those energies that we have, along with a surprise and the happiness that we gleaned through this previous season, as well as divine timing. So what is it that you're thinking about doing? And this could also be a card of a little bit of vulnerability. So when we're thinking about what it is that we want to do, sometimes we feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or start to second guess ourselves. So don't do that. think about what it is that you have and what you're thinking about going forward, and recognize that you have a full you are in a full place, and that the timing of the universe is really here and present for whatever this thing is that you want to initiate. So going forward into the spring, we've got the Fool, which is the ultimate beginning. Imbolc is the rebirth, right? This is after the quietude of Samhain. This is when the lambs are born. This is when the shoots start to come out of the earth. This is a great time to begin. The Fool hasn't quite jumped yet. And so he hasn't really started to get into whatever this process is. And you can see that the similarities in our pages and the attitude of the Fool is the same. So be brave. Don't second guess yourself. Embrace the surprise. Come from a very full place. Know that the divine timing is on your side, and it's time to really jump into whatever this is. This is really a very positive reading for Imbolc. And the bottom of the deck, because there's always a shadow, is the Tower. So the Tower is something that happens to us that we are not expecting. It isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it may be the very thing that makes you jump off that cliff into whatever it is that you're thinking about. Sometimes it looks like it might be a little scary, but it can also be a shot of lightning, of brilliance to say, oh, this is what I need to go be doing. And that is totally what spring is all about. It's the beginning of life. It's the change from winter into the growing season. Just remember that the Tower is not necessarily bad. All it means is the way that things have been can no longer continue. And that's exactly what happens with the Fool. So this is what I have for us this morning on Imbolc 2025. If this was helpful, and I hope that it was, please like, share, and subscribe. And I invite you to watch this space for further special readings, which I will continue to do as we move into Imbolc. And I am continuing to put daily shorts out there with 3 cards, the Tarot Tinies. So move into Imbolc with energy and with emotion and from a full place as you go do something new and interesting in this season. Blessings.